exciting night in Provo, Utah as BYU took on Utah State. BYU fell behind early, rallied late in a very dramatic fashion. I'm Jared Lloyd, BYU football reporter for the Daily Herald and CougarBlue.com, here with Jason Franchuk, BYU football columnist. This was a thriller, Jason. What do you take away from BYU being able to rally, final drive of the game, go 98 yards and get the game-winning touchdown with just a few seconds left?
Jared, we're a couple Colorado boys. We grew up around John Elway, and I saw him do a 98-yard drive once, and I grew up in Cleveland, actually, when that happened. I nearly passed out. When I see a team go 98 yards, awful memories, but for BYU, obviously great memories tonight. Riley Nelson coming in, he was the spark they needed. You can debate back and forth till the cows come home through general conference weekend whether he's the right guy every day, every week, but he was the perfect guy at this point in time for the Cougars.
Yeah, he really played a big role for BYU. He gave him an extra dimension, keeping plays alive with his feet. He could run the ball. He made a big play on that last drive, scrambling, keeping a play alive. It was covered well by Utah State initially. He set up, launched it downfield. Got a bit of a break as McKay Jacobson was able to come back and get the ball for a 40-yard gain. You need to be a little bit lucky, and that was never more evident than on the on BYU's final offensive play as Riley threw the ball, it got tipped, and bounced right to Marcus Matthews in the end zone for the game-winning touchdown. I mean, they got a couple of lucky breaks, but that's what it takes sometimes to win a game like this one that was hard fought.
A bit of a break? That's like saying a few fans stormed the field after that game. A little understatement, but I'm telling you, I think Brandon Ogletree said it best, the linebacker, Jared. He said after the game that somebody asked him about the quarterback position. He said, hey, if one of us wasn't performing at our spot, they'd find somebody else to fill in for us. I think BYU, and I'll write about this for the Herald and for Cougar Blue, I think they had to pull Jake at that point. He simply was not performing. You can talk potential. I threw it on Twitter. Who would you want as your starting quarterback at this point for BYU? Would you want Heaps? Would you want Nelson? Would you want Jordan Wynn of Utah? Or do you want Chucky Keaton, who was actually pretty good tonight for Utah State? But Nelson's gritty. We've seen him. I mean, Bronco talked about it. He runs with kickoff team. You know, he's that kind of kid that just goes after everything, and they needed that toughness. I mean, you talk about BYU history. They've had just gritty guys who knew how to get done. Maybe wasn't always the prettiest. Riley fits that mold. I mean, he shows off the abs. He's got the long hair, but you even listen to the kid. He knows what he's doing. He knows how to play. Now, we talk back and forth. You can talk about some of those flutter passes. I'm still not sure when a team gets a full chance, if they get to prepare for him, what BYU can do. But again, perfect guy. BYU needed that win. I'm still amazed that they come off first down, get sacked, and then all of a sudden Riley takes them. But you could see it, the way Utah State's lost some games, that there was some uncertainty with them, and Riley took advantage of that.
Yeah, another tough night for Utah State. They've had 3 of them now where they've had double-digit leads in the fourth quarter, lost all 3, and so hopefully they can regroup moving on into their WAC play as they get closer. But BYU's 3-2 at this point. Their next game is next Saturday against San Jose State. We'll be here, and right now, who knows who the starting quarterback's going to be. It could be Nelson and it could be Heaps. We'll just have to wait and see what the BYU coaching staff decides to do. I'm Jared Lloyd. This is Jason Franchuk. We're here from Lavelle Edwards Stadium, where it was an exciting night of football.